Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. This is The Art of Politics. My name is David Robbins. I'm here with my good friend Ken Gidge. Ken, good to see you. Ken, of course, is the socialist. I'm not calling him a communist anymore because I don't think he is. He's a socialist, but his communistic leaning, he's changing. He's really changing. He's also a real slob. That was Nicorette gum that you saw drop in there. One of the things he does is he chews Nicorette gum to keep himself from smoking. And just before the show, he'll take it out. He doesn't put it under the table or anything. He'll drop it into his glass of water. One time after a show, he put the stuff away. The next week I came in, I got a glass of water. I was about to drink it. It had a little piece of Nicorette gum in it that he'd left from the last week. So, Ken, with that, welcome.
Oh, wait,
yes, go ahead.
I want to tell you a little bit about Nicorette gum.
Really?
Yes.
This is now.
Last week.
Are you addicted to this?
Oh, no. Listen, last week I was supposed to be here at 6:30, or we were supposed to be here at 6:30 to talk to some Cub Scouts.
Right.
So I popped in about 10 minutes of 7, and they were ready to leave, and they're madder than hell. These kids, they're about this big. Yep. They want to be on TV.
Yep.
So Richard runs me over, sits me in a chair, surrounds me with these irate little kids, who I liked. I mean, they're good kids. So I was chewing gum.
Yep.
So I said to the kids, I go, I'm going to have to put my gum behind my ear. So I just stuck it behind my ear. I didn't think of anything about it.
Right.
I thought I did it.
Right.
But of course the kids, halfway through this interview, would say, hey, you got gum behind your ear. So I had to take the gum out. So that's just Nicorette gum.
Well, I'm entranced by that, and I'm sure our listeners are also.
I'm sure they are.
They are. Hey, listen, reading the paper, and we have.
You read?
I read.
Oh my God.
No, I'm not gonna jump on that one because I've got something good here. We have a new representative from Keene named Delmar Burridge, a Democrat from Keene. Of course, he's a Democrat when you hear this. And Representative Burridge, who's been in the legislature before.
You notice I'm not giving you a hard time.
I know you're not.
Yeah, go ahead.
Been in the legislature before. Did not run in 2010. Ran again and won. Representative Burridge wants to pass a law which allows county governments to tax and to set a tax. And
is that bad?
And well, I think that if it were to get anywhere close to passage, and I certainly am not advocating violence, but Representative Burridge might be run out of town on a rail, but perhaps not.
What
do you think?
Well, let me see if I have this straight. Are you saying one Democrat who you sounds a little loopy? He's a little loopy, correct?
Well, I don't know.
You're saying that he wants to do an income tax, but not through the whole state, but through counties.
What he apparently wants to do is make a law so that counties can impose their own tax.
You just said that.
But not necessarily that each county would have to.
No, I didn't say it. I didn't say that. You said that. You already said it. I'm leading up to something, ladies and gentlemen. He knows I am.
Ken, please go right ahead.
Right, okay. Every party has people who go off the reservation. Now, not only will there not be an income tax, I am absolutely sure when that comes into a committee, myself and about 100 other people stand there and go, are you crazy? We're not doing that because that's stupid. Okay, it's real simple. I don't want an income tax. I don't want a sales tax. That's the way it is. That's going to be New Hampshire. Okay? Now, but last year when I was sitting in the committee, all right, and I'm in Commerce, in comes a group of people who does not want to start an insurance exchange. They don't want to start it because they don't want anything to do with Obamacare.
What kind of insurance?
Well, it was an insurance exchange.
For what?
Well,
product?
This is for the monies that when they come in 2014, you will be able to look at a state exchange and buy insurance cheaper. Get insurance at a cheaper rate.
Insurance.
That's correct. Obamacare, what do you think it is?
Well, I'm just Ken, I just want to
Cars,
be clear.
caterpillars,
Now, of course,
grapes.
this is going to happen anyway because the federal
No,
government's
no,
going to
no, no. But let me tell you.
So the state, whether the state
No, no,
does
no,
it or not,
no.
is irrelevant.
You're talking about somebody who went off a reservation. I'm going to tell you a whole Republican Party that went off a reservation. So we voted, or I should say, the people who were sitting there in the committee, like myself, went, excuse me, you don't want the government to run the state of New Hampshire. Is that correct? And everybody goes, that's right. Well, if we don't put this exchange together, the government will put it together and run the exchange. And every single individual inside the committee room, all right, Republican and Democrat, went, well, of course you're going to have an exchange. We don't want the government to run it, but you get out to the House and you guys pass it. So ladies and gentlemen, for the people who do not want our government running the state of New Hampshire, but want the people running the state of New Hampshire, they wouldn't put an exchange in. So we are one of 22 states who said, no, we don't want Obamacare. And the federal government goes, oh, okay, so we will run it for you and charge you for running it for you. Real bright. But you're complaining about one guy up in Keene who's off the reservation?
Oh, I've got many more complaints.
You got many more?
I've got many more complaints.
I thought you were.
And that's very interesting. And
interesting.
It is.
How dumb.
Let me just point out a couple of things. One of them is you say no, we don't want it. We don't want a county tax, and I agree with you. I don't know.
Who wants it?
I don't know very many people who do. But you and your party have no qualms about increasing the county expenditures, as you tried to do over the last 2 years in Hillsborough County. When the fiscally responsible,
David, if I was you, I wouldn't go. If I was you, I wouldn't go there.
When the fiscally responsible Republicans, when the fiscally responsible Republicans wanted to keep the tax at the same time.
4 social workers who saved the state $1.5 million, and it only cost $441,000 for the 4 per year. So you did what? Voted against it. So it's costing us, that's us out there and you and me, costing us over $1 million because they were fiscally responsible.
That's right. We were fiscally responsible. We kept the county budget.
Now I want to ask you.
Now let me finish. No, let me finish. We kept the county budget where it was, the tax rate was flat for 2 years, the county tax rate, but Ken and his party wanted to just jack it up either by increasing the tax rate or taking from the surplus, which would mean that the tax rate would have to go up over the next several years.
What he's telling you is we were lied to. We said we only had 9.5 extra dollars that we could spend, but we're going to put it in the bank and just save it. It's almost $15 million. So $441,000 saving $1 million, but these guys, you know, going to be fiscally responsible. Does that sound fiscally responsible to you? I don't think so. Losing $1.5 million for $441,000, that's not fiscally responsible. That's dumb. That's blind.
That statistic is idiotic. There is no hard data.
No statistic
is idiotic. There's no hard data. It's not. It's just
no hard data.
There isn't any hard data. It was people. It was people coming into the committee and saying,
"Excuse me, did they?
Oh golly, if you cut this program, it's going to, we're going to lose this amount of money." There was nothing there that showed that.
Yeah, I know, David. And the thing is that one of the social workers said one thing we do is we save people from committing suicide. This year we're going to have about 75 people more committing suicide. That's 157 last year to about 200 and something this year. Shame on them. Shame. So if I was you, Dave, I would move on to another subject.
All right. Another subject. There in the news today, a couple of things. One of them was the head of the Hillsborough County House of Correction was a fellow named Jim O'Mara for about 18 or 20 years. Great guy, enjoyed working with him a lot. He became the town administrator in Amherst about 1.5 years ago because he'd really had enough. It was just tough. He was in a tough job. And picked up the paper today, and Jim O'Mara's been suspended. And we don't know why. Do you know anything about this?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well,
excuse me, is he a Democrat or a Republican?
Ladies and
Is this a
gentlemen,
Republican or a Democrat?
ladies and gentlemen, I don't know that he is.
So you're looking at me as if I'm a bad
No,
Democrat, and
no.
you want to know why? I have no idea.
No, I'm just
Oh,
asking.
man, what did he do?
We don't know.
No, well, what did he do before he took this other job?
He was the head of the Department of Corrections in Hillsborough County.
Okay, was that the guy who came in and tried to get money to make sure that there were more, or I should say enough officers on duty, and you guys voted him down? Is that the guy?
No.
No, yeah, it's not the guy?
No.
Okay.
We gave him the all the officers he needed, as is being
excuse me,
demonstrated.
as they wanted to give him.
No, as is needed, because the jail is running very well right now.
Well, it was running very well until you deducted a lot of money from, for pays, etc. Cutting down. You see, this is.
What do you mean it's not running well? Right. It's running fine right now. They're very tremendously efficient, tremendously hardworking. It is being effectively and efficiently run by a very good man. Yeah, they have overtime.
No overtime for these people.
They do if they need it, absolutely. And one of the reasons they cut down on the overtime budget was because the new commissioner has a policy of filling vacancies more quickly and having people rolling in so he can get people on and not use overtime.
But the problem, which you ought to tell the people, is that is not a job where you open the door and let somebody in and do the job. They must be trained.
That's absolutely correct.
So, in turn, you really can't keep it rolling unless you have people in the pipeline who are coming up and who are ready to do the job, and you don't do that until someone's leaving.
What he does is he has people ready to go. He starts them out in training. He also does on the job to give them real-world experience. I mean, I think we ought to have David on at some point.
Well, I'm kind of missing a point. O'Mara, he got suspended for what?
I don't know. That was what I was going to ask you.
Well, I don't know. Suspended for what?
All right, well, we'll find out.
You're a better artist than I am, for God's sake. Look at this. Look at the way he writes. Where are you?
Look at this. Here we go. Wait a minute. Here we go.
No, go ahead that way. That way. Look at that. For God's sakes, you do better than I do.
I do.
You can do straight lines. I can't do straight lines.
All right, so we've.
Oh, by the way, did you see my article in the Boston Globe?
I was away.
Didn't see it in the Boston Globe.
Did you?
I mean, this big article that they said they've been going to do for 6 months, and they spent an hour taking pictures of me. I can't smile for an hour.
On Sunday, I was in Oklahoma City.
Well, I didn't see it either because it wasn't in.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm mad.
What happened?
And I'm mad at the Democratic Party, too.
Oh, tell us about...
No. I want to talk about insurance first.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm on Commerce, which is banking and insurance.
Oh, you stayed on Commerce? They kept you?
Well, no. That's one of the reasons why I might be leaving the Democratic Party. But I'm not going to leave it for the Republicans. I'm going to leave it to be an independent. And there's reason. Well, I'll get into that. But anyway, I was sick, right? I had this just congested. So they took pictures of my lungs, and I thought I had lung cancer. It was close. The doctors were all nervous, and they're running around, and they're taking x-rays, and they're doing more. I mean, this is serious. Went in for certain tests, and they're ready. They're going to stick a needle in me, and they found an x-ray, and they took another one and said, well, wait a minute, it's clearing up. So guess you don't have it. But it was close. So I said, oh, okay. So I get this news while I'm in, up at the committee. And of course, you're trying to do committee work, and this is on your mind. But I get the call, you're fine. You're not fine, but you'll get over it. I said, oh, okay, great. As I'm driving home, stopped on Main Street in Concord, pull over, and a guy whack, bangs me.
I remember.
Right, just smashes into the truck, my little truck. So the guy gets out, and he goes, oh, no, you're a representative. I'm doing work for the state. I'm in trouble. I said, you're not in any trouble. It was an accident. I'm fine. I'm okay. Everything's okay. So he's a nice guy, et cetera. You no longer, by the way, exchange papers. Are you ready for this? You take pictures of everything. It's true. He says, would you like to take a picture of my license? I mean, he didn't even know I had a phone. So, yeah, sure. So we got pictures of each other. I got pictures of the damage. So he says, well, call your insurance company. And I think to myself, well, wait a minute. My insurance company is Geico, and his is Hartford. Why would I call Geico? But I called Geico, and Geico says, all right. I said, no, I want to go through Hartford. They're the ones who hit me. And I had an x-ray on my back because I had a major back operation. I wanted to make sure, the screws that are in my back aren't like this, looking funny face.
You mean you wanted to make sure you didn't have a screw
loose? Aha! Yeah. We've been doing this for over a year, and that's the best one you got me on.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're very welcome. So I decided to go to Hartford Insurance, so I call them. His person agent, and she goes, yeah, that accident took place, let's see, New Hampshire, Vermont. I said, excuse me, the accident happened last week. It happened in Concord, New Hampshire. Oh, okay, all right. Well, what do you want? I says, what do I want? What I want to do is I try to, no, go to your insurance company. They'll take it. I says, excuse me, my insurance company didn't hit me. You guys hit me. I want you to take care of it. So they give me this telephone number to call, or they said that somebody will call you. Nobody called, nobody called, nobody called. I called back there. Finally, Hartford calls me back. I don't get the call, so we're playing phone tag, right? So I start getting these things in the mail that simply say, hey, you have to comply. You haven't complied. And I call back, and I get this phone. I'm going, look, what do you mean I didn't comply? What do you mean I didn't comply? I'm complying. I had an x-ray, etc. So we finally get together, and he says, okay, I'm going to send somebody down to look at your car. So he sends someone down to look at my car. My car's in the shop being fixed, right, as you know. I get something from Hartford. We will do nothing for you until you fill out this whole thing. And besides, we've changed your agent because you're complaining or you're claiming a medical thing. I didn't claim anything. So I go, all right. That sounds okay to me, but the problem is my car's in there being fixed. It's already in the shop, but they said they're not going to do anything. So I got on to pick up my car, and the guy says, do you have the check? I says, I thought they worked with you. I thought they would pay you because, no. They called them and said, they made a mistake. They didn't send it out yet. They didn't send it out because guess what? The guy said, we're not going to do anything for you. All right, so now, anyway, they send the check out. I get the car back. Now, I'm still getting these things that they're not going to do anything for me. They want all the reports. They want every single thing that they can get, right? So I'm going, there's nothing. You have everything already. Why don't you guys just connect with one another? That's all you got to do is connect, and they will have everything. And guess what?
What?
I got another one today.
Well, Ken,
I called them back. I got another one today. They're not going to do anything for me. I hate Hartford. Hartford Insurance, excuse me. I'm sure you probably have had luck with Hartford Insurance. I haven't. Shame on Hartford Insurance. Shame on you. And I'm trying to be nice. But the problem is that's what I do up in Concord, insurance and banking.
Well, this is interesting because this did start out with a talk about the health insurance exchange. And I've been trying to follow how this works and how it connects to the health insurance exchange. And also Ken came in with a teaser about leaving the Democratic Party, which I don't know anything about. I want to find out about that and about whether or not he was on the committee that he's been on and served very capably on for the last several years. And then all of a sudden, we go to Ken having a screw loose. Now, I know that's not that unusual, but we try. We try to keep him on board. So, Ken, what's the story with your leaving?
I just love this guy. You know why he's getting better? Because he's no longer in politics. So now he can be mean and gritty, which he should have done before. If you would have done that before and been honest and truthful, you'd still be right where you are right now because the Democrats just swept everything.
That's true. Wouldn't have done anything. What's the story with this leaving the party? What's going on here? I know I shouldn't.
Yeah, don't hit the table.
What is Terry Norelli
like this? Boom.
What is Terry Norelli doing to you?
Well, so far nothing.
Mean Terry.
Well, no. As everybody knows, we voted for a new Speaker of the House, and we wanted David Campbell from Nashua.
Right.
And we had a bunch of people from Nashua who didn't vote for David Campbell but voted for Norelli because she's a woman. And I said, don't you do that. You vote for your home city. Don't vote for anyone else because you're voting for Portsmouth, right? Remember I told you that?
Well, I remember you said that. I'm not sure I agree, but I remember you said that.
Well, no, you should agree because now what we find out is law lost a big contract to the state of New Hampshire. I think it was for $100 million over 20 years.
Now, that was the liquor wholesale
That's the liquor
warehouse.
wholesale warehousing.
The place where.
Correct.
And this
they have 500,000 square feet in Nashua.
And this company has had that contract for what, 20 years?
20 plus years.
20 plus years. And there was a bidding process going on the last 6 months.
Correct.
Or a year, and the bid was just announced after the election.
Correct.
Interesting. So
Correct.
please, elucidate.
Anyway, so I said to the, I didn't say it to the people, but I'm going to. I said, I told you to vote for your city. Vote for your hometown. Don't vote for anything else. And the first major problem we have is probably the largest problem that they're going to have as long as they're there for 2 years, and that's trying to help law trucking to make sure everything was done properly, because if it wasn't, we want the contract to come back to Nashua. And so what we're going to need is, we're going to need what? You're going to need as much
juice.
Influence, juice, okay.
Juice.
So having Speaker of the House in Nashua, it would give you
juice.
Lots of
juice.
I love juice, okay? And so they didn't do this. So now this is a problem. So anyway, that's the type of stuff that we got to watch out for. You got people, I got mad at you guys. I got mad at the Republicans. Why?
Wait a minute. What did I haven't even been here all week. I'm not even in the legislature anymore.
Well, when you were, I was mad at you guys.
At me for? I'm just a private citizen.
You want to know why I was mad at the Republicans a lot? Because they would come from Nashua. They would go to Concord, and when they got done cutting, as they said, making everything good, it ends up costing you out there money, thanks to the Republicans. Our tax rate is going up.
I just want to say one thing. I think you're going to find this interesting. Maggie Hassan's budget for the next 2 years is probably going to look like Bill O'Brien's budget for the last 2 years. It's already been in the paper. She is already looking for a 3% cut from the existing budget, and I hope she pulls this off, because that would show that she's fiscally responsible. But she is going to have to do, let me finish.
Okay.
She's going to have to do exactly the same thing that Bill O'Brien and the rest of the government did over the last 2 years, or else we're not going to have a balanced budget.
It has nothing to do with what has to be done, it's how it was done. That's why Bill O'Brien is no longer the Speaker of the House. That's why the Republicans, were they a supermajority, are now not the supermajority. They are the minority. That's why. It's not what had to be done, it's how it was done. Now, are you trying to say, wait a minute, are you trying to say that the Democrats were not fiscally responsible?
Yes.
You're trying to say this. Okay.
I'm not trying to, I am.
Okay, now, where do we spend the money?
You spent money that you know is not going to be replaced.
No. I don't want to hear, this is a Republican thing, by the way. They'll make these statements so they won't pinpoint. Where do we spend the money?
Ken, it's the truth.
Give me the idea. Where was it spent?
You got $800 million in stimulus money, and you spent it without any indication or any rationalization or realization that that was not, it's a one-time thing. You didn't spend it on infrastructure. You spent it in a way that just increased the pain.
To balance the budget.
Because you increased the budget. Because you increased the budget. Yes, you did. $800 million.
David, the public have already voted for it, and guess what? Have voted, and they have voted your ideas wrong.
What did I just say?
Here.
What did I just say? Maggie Hassan is going to have to do the same thing that Bill O'Brien did. And watch this over the next 6 months. Her budget's not going to be very different from Bill O'Brien's budget.
All right, David.
There is not going to be extra money for health care. There is not going to be extra money for the disabled development.
Why don't we do it this way? Why don't we play the simple game of households? Very simple. All right. Now, let's just say you live in a house and you have so much money to work with.
Are you asking me to play house with you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I want them. And you have so much money to work with. You have a son or a daughter who is in college. Your wife does a lot of commuting, or you do, and you need a vehicle. You got to have a vehicle. You got to make sure your mortgages are paid, maybe a small vacation, maybe going out a few times. And then all of a sudden, someone loses their job. Well, you have already have these things in the works because that's what you were planning on. Sending your wife, your son to college, another vehicle, maybe out a few times, maybe some renovations to your home or buy a home. But now you can't because you don't have a job.
Here, I mean, you're
So
absolutely
Maggie,
off base
so
on
what you're
this.
saying is that Maggie Hassan has to do the same thing
She's going to.
that Bill O'Brien did. And I am saying to you, of course you have to. If you don't have a job in your family or the income is not coming in, of course you must cut. Bill O'Brien did nothing wrong. It's how he did it.
No, I know he did nothing wrong.
Plain and simple, what hurt us here in Nashua were you guys up in Hillsborough County. That's one of the things that hurt us horribly. Getting rid of those social workers, getting rid of the drug and alcohol program. When you have a judge come in, a judge sits down and says, what do you want me to do? Send him to jail or send him to this program? And you go, oh, it's $241,000. That's too much. And they go, I know, but we saved $600,000 all told. And you guys go, oh, no, we can't do that. But they wanted to show you how they were going to save you money. And guess what? They didn't save you money. Check your taxes. They're going up. That's here in Nashua. And that's because of...
And you know what? The county tax rate, which we had control over on the county level, isn't going up because we held the line.
Yes, but it was you held the line.
This is
you don't get it. If you have $1.5 million saved by having 4.5 social workers, and you take $441,000 and get rid of them, you have over $1 million that it cost you. It cost me. It cost them. David,
Kenny,
that's the way you guys operated.
Kenny,
you don't save money.
No, there's absolutely, as far as I know, there's absolutely no evidence of that quote-unquote alleged savings.
See it. You didn't want to see it. You talked over it. You yelled at people.
I didn't.
You were not nice people
I was
up there.
very nice.
And when they asked me if I wanted to go back there, you know what my reply was? They asked, oh, by the way, it was nice of them to ask me. After 2.5 years of being up there and going through hell, they weren't even going to ask me if I wanted to go back. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the Republicans and the Democrats, to a degree, everyone's alike. They weren't going to ask me if I wanted to go back. Finally, Campbell said, oh, Kenny, do you want to go back? And I said, absolutely not. But they were already taking people who wanted people to go there, okay?
Yeah.
And I wasn't included into this. So it seems like a lot of people who were not here before forget about the people, the 103 of us, Democrats. We, I think, have been treated poorly. Now by our Democratic Party. We're through you.
Poor me. Poor Ken, you're talking, here you are now the majority party. And for some reason, it still is the Republicans' fault.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't say nothing. You guys are still... We haven't done it. Nothing's happened yet, David. We haven't even had one session yet.
That's right.
So the Republicans are still in charge.
Nothing's happened. Nothing's happened. You're right.
Hey, the same governor's here.
That's true.
They're making up now the budgets. I mean, come on. What are you talking about? Of course it's still you guys.
Oh, I thought it was the governor.
In yet.
I thought it was the governor's budget.
Oh, well, how does the governor get a budget?
What he calls his department heads together, they submit stuff, and he submits a budget.
And then what do we do?
He submits a budget to the legislature.
And then what do we do?
Like any legislative body, it deals with the budget. The House and the Senate. And you know what? And then the governor has an opportunity, if he doesn't like it, or in this case, Maggie Hassan, she can veto it. But you know what? Governor Lynch did not veto the budget. He could have. He let it go into effect without his signature.
But David,
he didn't go against the budget. He said, well, I don't agree with this, but oh, okay, we'll let it pass.
No, David, hold on a second.
What is this no David stuff?
You forget where you're from. We're from Nashua.
I was born in Medford, Massachusetts.
Okay, fine. That's where you're from. I'm from Nashua, New Hampshire. I'm Ward 6. My father was born in Ward 6. I was born in Ward 6. I married someone, and I still live in Ward 6. That's where I'm from. This is also Hillsborough County. Hillsborough County people up there hurt us probably more than the state of New Hampshire has hurt us. And you know what they say? Oh, but we didn't have to raise any taxes. You didn't have to raise taxes to keep those social workers. You didn't have to raise taxes to keep the drug and alcohol program going.
Yeah, we
no, you didn't,
yep.
David, because that's $600,000. $2 million minus 600 is $1.4 million. That's how much money you would have saved. And by the way, how much do we have in surplus right now?
I have no idea. I'm not in the legislature.
Close to $15 million. So we wouldn't have to raise taxes.
Ken, if we had $15 million, how is
Why didn't we get rid of our social workers?
No, Ken, why is it that when I left a month ago...
It was 9 something?
It was 8, I think.
Yes, David.
Now, why is
because that's
that?
what we were told, weren't
By
we?
whom? Who told us this?
Oh, I think... No,
who told us this?
I'll tell you who told us. The Republicans who are controlling up there said that's all we had.
That's what the administrator...
committee meetings. That's bull.
No,
that's
the
bull.
administrator of the county said that.
Yeah, well,
no, the county administrator. The people, the guy who was hired by the county commissioners said that. We don't know independently what the surplus is.
What are you talking about? Neil Kirk and
we have to
going on. This is all we have. If we do this, we've got to raise it. He lied to you.
No, that's what the county administrator said. No,
oh, come on, David. No. I was up there. I never wanted to do it.
I was up there too, and I would gladly go back.
That's the job I ever had in my entire life. Sitting there, 3 Democrats, 17 Republicans, and no matter what anyone said, it was no.
Actually, it was about 20.
No.
Oh, yeah, it was four Democrats.
Shame. No, it was 3 Democrats.
Shame. 3 Democrats.
Shame on them. And how many?
There were 21 people there.
Yeah, that's right.
4. Weren't there 4?
No, there were 3.
Then there must have been 18 Republicans.
Right. 18 against 3. You want to talk about people who are not kind? And I'll tell you something else what people don't know. Now, you heard about bullying, right?
Ken, you're looking
I'm not looking at that. I'll look at you.
You're looking at the camera.
All right. Everybody talks about bullying that took place up there.
Are you bullying me right now? I think you are. I think you're bullying me.
Not yet.
No, you really are. I mean, here, the finger is getting pointed, the pen's getting pointed.
You want to know
I'm
how
sitting back here trying to be responsible.
Let me tell you how the Republicans were. There was this lady who was sitting 3 seats away from me. And she voted with the Democrats for 1 vote.
That was no lady. That was my wife.
Yeah, okay. So anyway, I won't mention the person who got up, a man, came over and stood over her and pounded on the table and said, what did you do that for? What did you do that for? We vote together. What did you do that for? And I said, hey, back off her. What's wrong with you? This big galoot standing over a woman yelling and screaming. He said to her, what are you going to do about that? Pointing at me. You know what she did? She turned around and looked at me and said, mind your own business.
See?
I went, excuse me, is that how you...
assaulted
that's
me.
That's how you treated the women up there. That's a perfect... Hey, guess what? That's one of the reasons why you lost. It's one of the... All right.
You know, speaking about losing and things that are kind of loose, you know I'm driving a truck now for my brother-in-law. Went across country to Tucson, just got back a couple of days ago.
How was Tucson?
Tucson was wonderful. It was colder than heck, though.
Tucson, Arizona?
Tucson, going through New Mexico.
What's Tucson next to?
Tucson is about 30 miles north of the Mexican border. It's right down on the south of Arizona.
And it was cold?
It was cold, very cold out there. And I was driving one night. I looked for some. I was going to bring you back one.
No.
I was driving one night, and I was taken down a back road by my GPS, and I crossed a bridge. And I looked, as I was crossing, the name of the river was by the side of the road.
Yeah.
Do you know what the name of the river was?
No.
Rio Grande.
Rio Grande?
Do you know what's on the other side of the Rio Grande? Mexico.
So were you scared? Are you afraid of Mexicans?
No, but I was scared poopless because A, I had a $300,000 truck that I was driving, and B, I didn't have a passport. Then I realized, wait a minute, the Rio Grande, before it gets down and becomes the border, it comes down through the state of New Mexico. So I had crossed. I was still in New Mexico.
So you got scared. Have you heard of Globe,
scared.
Arizona?
I have.
Okay.
I've been through Globe, Arizona.
I drove one day to go down and get to Phoenix. And I drove, I think it was 16 hours. And my friends, I called them and I said, I got to stop. I can't get there. He said, oh, no, just go through this and go over here, go to Globe, and you'll be there in an hour.
Yep.
Well, an hour out there is 3 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so they don't know what they're talking about. Don't take directions from anyone out there. Because, oh, you'll be here in a couple minutes, 4 days later. All right, so.
Actually, it's true.
That's right. I know it's odd. We're New England, you know, it's this is a foot, that's a foot out there. No, this is 4 miles. All right. So I'm told to go through Globe, and I'm tired. And I'm exhausted, and I'm not sleepy, but I'm irritated. And I get a cup of coffee, and I'm really irritated. And I go over the ridge, coming down to Globe, Arizona. And Globe, Arizona used to be a big mining place of all sorts of sparkly things. And they were all over the ground. And they were really bright, etc., and they were red, and they were orange, and they were blue, and the sun was shining on them, and I'm coming over the hill, and I said, LSD trip, I'm having one.
Flashback.
Said, wow.
Flashback.
But it's stuff like that.
No, I know. It's a different country. It's a different world.
Oh, yeah. Planet.
Let me tell you a story that about how I know this is a different world. A couple of things.
Well, you got Rio Grande.
Rio Grande, right? But when I was traveling across the country, I stopped and got gas on a regular basis. One of the places I stopped, I looked over, and I saw a sign coming up. And Richard's going to put this picture up that I took, and it shows a certain schizophrenia between the adult video store and the We Hate Pornography sign, side by side. And I thought, this was in Pennsylvania, and I thought, wow, those Pennsylvanians, they really can't get it together.
No.
And then, when I got out I was listening to the radio.
Well, is that sign still up?
The sign is still up there.
No, I mean up on, I guess Rich is still got the sign.
I don't know, we can't see.
Well, let's look at the sign.
We don't have a monitor.
There's a picture of this, like, little girl all like this, and it said, pornography pollutes. And over there's a book, what is an adult store?
Adult bookstore, adult toy store, adult play store.
Whatever.
Adult store.
An adult store. And I'm thinking to myself, and as you can, you know how they put the sign there, pollutes. If you take a look at the properties, it looks like it's almost on the same property.
It is. It's the sign, the pollution sign is as close to the property line as you can get.
I think if the wind blows, it goes over.
It goes. I think it does. But the other thing, this shows, again, how the really strange people's ideas are about sex out there and different things. This was on the radio station. This was AM radio, a family station, and they were talking about how you could demonstrate how much people tried, and somebody was giving their effort, and you know somebody
tried what?
I'll show you. I'll tell you.
Show me. Don't show me. Please tell me.
They were telling stories about how people were giving their all at different things and how you could tell that somebody was really doing the best they could at something. And one of the examples they used was the local masturbation contest. The person who won also came in third. That's giving your all.
You're weird. You know, you got to get back into politics. We got to get back. That's about as strange of a story as I've ever heard.
But think about that.
No, I
First
don't. No,
and third.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to think about that.
All right.
I mean, you're going to have to forgive my friend.
No, not at all.
He's not on his medication.
Oh yeah, I'm taking a double dose.
Are you?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You give me a couple. I didn't take mine tonight.
All right. Well, after the show,
there we go.
Do you want to know why the GOP is a Christian club?
No, I have a feeling I'm going to find out, though.
You are indeed. There was an article in actually an editorial in the Union Leader today.
Yes.
And one of the columnists was that's right. One of the columnists was talking about how, when you think about it, folks from the subcontinent of India come to this country, be they from Pakistan or India or whatever. When you think about it, they should naturally have an affinity for Republicans. They are well educated. They come here. They make a good living. They are conservative, family oriented. but yet in the recent election, fully 2/3 of them voted for, now let me finish, 2/3 of them voted for Barack Obama. And one of the conjectures is that, well, economically, they are closer to quote-unquote Republicans because the Republican Party is so heavy into the Christian presentation, starting every meeting with prayers or in God we trust, that it puts these folks off. It's like saying, welcome to the clubhouse, but you don't really belong because you're not Christian.
We talked about religion, keeping religion out of politics, period.
Well, I think that's very interesting. I think that's one of the reasons that the Republicans are in trouble.
I think what is very interesting to you, for me, about you and your party is this. You're the party of the economy. You're the party of small government. You're the party of freedoms. Under your party, we've had wars. The largest governments in the history have been created under the Republican Party. But we Democrats stop you guys from making a lot of money, or because people come from another country and they want to make a lot of money, they ought to be Republicans. David, this is one of the reasons why Obama will keep winning, his type of people keep winning, is because of people like you making statements like that.
Well, actually, wait a minute. I'm saying that the statement I made was that what I was just talking about. Yeah, it is. The Republicans are losing out because they are not casting. We are not casting a wider tent.
Yeah, but I just gave you one of the reasons why you're not.
So did I.
No, well, no.
Do we just bamboozle each other?
No, we did not. But David, you see, I think you went over it and you didn't quite get it, and that was, they came to this country well educated, so they should relate with the Republicans.
I'm not saying they should.
Well, but that's what you said.
No, what I
can go back and look at it.
We can.
We are the party of, so why don't they go with us?
No, I'm not saying they should or have to go with us, but I'm saying that there is some natural affinity based on interests.
There you go. As if Democrats don't have them? I mean, this is what I'm trying to say to you, David. Your party must be more inclusive.
So I agree.
When you turn around and say, well, you know, they're coming from other countries and they should relate more with the Republicans because they want to make money. They want to relate because they're more educated. So the Democrats don't want to make money and they're not educated. Is this what you're saying?
No.
Well, that's what you kind of said.
No.
Yeah.
No,
we've got the tape.
Okay, we can
start off at the we can start off where you were the Rio Grande or the
crossing into Mexico.
Crossing into Mexico.
I thought I was going to have to become and I know I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to anyway because I'm no longer in politics. But I thought I was going to have to become a wetback and come back across the Rio Grande.
You know,
leave the truck
David,
there.
That's the problem. Why didn't you say this before? Because you're now not in politics, so now you never want to be in politics, so you made a statement like that, and they got a tape, and they can run it. You called them wetbacks. Well, David, why don't you just say, I'm driving a truck, I fall into the,
And I become
all wet.
And I become
all wet.
Well,
my back, my front?
No, I think that somebody watching this would probably assume correctly that I'm all wet anyway. So.
That's right.
That's right.
That's right.
But what else do you have here for us?
Because you got nothing else.
No, I've got a whole bunch of stuff.
Quiet.
I've got a whole bunch of stuff. We've talked about Delmar. We've talked about the GOP being a Christmas club.
Oh, the worst mistake made by Republicans. It came out today. The worst mistake made by Romney.
Oh, God, and he made so many.
And it was the worst mistake in a political fact-checking, et cetera. All right.
Yep.
It was that because Chrysler went into bankruptcy and came out of bankruptcy and it was owned by the Italians, which is not true, owned by the Italians, they were going to stop making Jeeps in America and make them in China.
Or somewhere else, yeah. That was the allegation.
This was a blog from somebody, some nitwit, who another nitwit called Drudge pulled up, which another nitwit who writes speeches for Romney wrote into a speech. And then when everybody is going, especially the people from Chrysler going, no, 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 we're not going anywhere.
Right.
We are expanding. We're not going to expand and then leave. We're going to expanding. They make a commercial out of it.
Yep.
They make a commercial out of it.
Yep.
And it keeps going and going and going. How could this happen?
Because somebody flat out lied, and they were incompetent.
Well, they knew that, but it kept going.
I know.
And this is
because,
the reason
because
why.
they lied. I mean, Mitt Romney's campaign and Mitt Romney lied. L-I-E-D.
And what have I been saying? If they're liars, call them
liars.
liars. I've been saying that for a while.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, that was, and it was a horrible
This is
political.
awful.
It was a horrible political move.
You know, and you know,
Stupid.
I would like to beat up Romney more. Okay. Other than I saw him shopping recently.
Oh, at Walmart or wherever it was.
And the best picture was him at Disneyland, riding the coaster.
I didn't see that. I saw.
He's like this. Hey, this is new. I've never done this before.
I'm Mitt Romney. I'm going to Disneyland. Oh, God.
I'm Mitt Romney. Disneyland has a problem. I'll fix it for him.
That's
you got
right.
another Olympics?
Well, you know, he's probably, since he left the campaign a month ago, he's probably made more money,
No.
even being depressed.
No, yeah, that's right. This guy can make money sleeping. As a matter of fact, he can make more money sleeping, keeping his mouth shut.
Well, I know I felt down when I lost the election. It's taken me a few weeks to get back. I can only imagine you invest 2-3 years of your life in doing something, and the voters say,
well,
which is what they did.
The problem is that he was counting the chickens before they hatched.
Well, he was counting the chickens before they were conceived.
He had his whole cabinet lined up. He had, who was going to be Secretary of State. I mean, he's going through all this whole thing. He had his whole government he was going to change around. But, when people say, okay, let's see your taxes. And he goes, I'm only showing you 2 years. But I'm not going to show you the last year.
Because it isn't filed
for about
yet.
6 months.
It isn't filed yet. It isn't filed. I mean,
when you look at that, what do you think now? You are a Republican and you had to go for this garbage. And we sat here and you ate it up and I'm going, I can't believe you're eating it and liking it. Mm-hmm. Now you can say you were eating it and didn't like it.
No, I voted for him, and I thought that of two, I thought he was the lesser of two evils at the time.
Not better, lesser of two evils.
Well, it's always the lesser of two evils. It's always, I mean, one person is always better than the other.
So you're evil?
I am.
No, you're not evil.
I'm not?
No, you just don't, go.
I'm just dumb.
Just bring your passport with you next time you're riding around.
Next time I am going to take my passport. It's the best ID I can have. Do you know, just let me toss something out. I know we've only got a few minutes here.
I don't know how much time we have.
Well,
Richard, if you're there, yell out the door and say it, because I don't know. I've been looking at the clock.
One of the things about President Obama wants to increase taxes on inheritance. I mean,
let's talk the rich first.
Well, no, let's talk.
Falling off the cliff. The Republicans are at it again. They don't get the idea they lost.
Let's talk inheritance. I'm not.
No. Talk about something that people can relate to right now, and that is falling off the cliff.
I'm going to relate to that right now. I'm not going to relate to falling. This is part of falling off the cliff. Folks want, you work hard, you make money, you want to leave it to your children. That's going to get taxed. You work hard, you make money.
But that's nothing new.
No, wait a second.
This has been done before,
Wait a second. You work hard, you make money. You can decide to go to Las Vegas and blow it all on a long weekend where you gamble it away, and that's fine. There's no adverse consequence. And I just think it's an interesting, don't want to make a big deal of this, it's sort of an interesting juxtaposition that if you try to do the right thing, you get whacked by the tax person. If you don't try to do the right thing, but you're hedonistic about it, then everybody says, "Oh, that's fine, no problem, no consequences." Just an interesting philosophical direction.
You say that so well that I almost don't want to put a hole in it.
Oh, go ahead.
Go
ahead.
No, that was done so well.
Thank
you convinced people, whatever you were talking about. First of all, the inheritance tax, I'm not crazy about that, all right?
Well, especially because you're going to be...
I don't have anything.
No, well, no, you're going to be...
dead and have a lot of stuff.
Your wife is going to be a rich widow. A wealthy widow.
Because of my art?
Because of your art.
Because of my art.
As soon as you die...
As soon as I sell something.
No, as soon as you die, the prices are going to go like this.
People don't realize how good this stuff is. Is this good?
It is good. It is wonderful stuff.
Nobody has ever seen this before. Right? Richard
I never had.
pays me $200 for one. And he says, I'm going to hand you the check and you hand me the painting. And I'm going, okay. So he takes the painting and I take the check and he won't let go of the check. And finally I grab the check and he grabs the painting and he says, I'm going to give you a little advice. Don't sell these so cheap. Can you imagine that?
I can. In fact, next week, could you bring a couple of them in?
No one's going to see them. I can't figure them out because of it's 3D.
No, but I'll get a chance to take. I keep asking to come over to your house to look at these because I want to buy some.
Over there.
Because I want to buy some.
I'll bring you
know what?
Bring you the best.
No, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call your wife, Lee. Lee is a wonderful person. I'm going to call Lee and I'm going to say, let me know when.
I'm out.
K-Boy.
K-Boy.
K-Boy is gone.
Gone.
And I'll come over and you and I can cut a deal.
You know, the problem, if I hadn't done this myself, because I come from a family of inventors, if I haven't come up with this new form of art, but somebody else did, I would be praising them. I came up with it, but completely by accident, how it happened. It's a 3D, it's not supposed to work. In fact, they've had, the Boston Globe is doing a story, they brought it over to MIT for them to look at it, to try to figure it out, how it works. And as far as I know, they haven't figured it out. Now, from Nashua, investigating at MIT of what someone's doing, so I can tell you it is very unusual. But the problem is that if I brought it here, they wouldn't see it without the glasses. But everyone who sees it, you know, if they've got the money, they'll buy it.
All right. I have a way to do this. We take a camera, we go downtown in front of City Hall, you bring the artwork, and we'll do a man and woman on the street interview series, and then we'll show it on the air.
Hey!
Seriously.
I like that.
Yeah, I'd be very willing to work with you on that.
You want to do a thing on the street? I'd love to do a thing on the street.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I'm sure we can gather a lot of people.
Why don't we do it in the road?
It's strange. I don't know how much time we got. Richard, if you're there, tell us, yell out the door. I have no idea.
I don't even know if Richard's there.
Yeah, I don't know.
What did you just say?
I don't know. What?
2 minutes.
2 minutes and that's it?
That's it.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you trying to tell me that we went through a whole hour? I know what he's doing. He's going to cut this into a half hour.
Or 15 minutes.
Or 15 minutes.
This is going to be the best of.
The
that's going to be about 2 minutes.
The best
and
of.
It's going to be the break.
All right, where are you going to be traveling?
I'm going to be. I'm not sure where, but I think that he's got to do another Detroit run and one other place before Christmas. So I'm available. I enjoy this. I'm driving a truck for my brother-in-law. He makes vans for TV stations, $300,000 things with satellites on them, and I drive them out to where they get delivered. And I'm having a good time. I'll close. My name is David Robbins. You can reach me at davidsrobbins@comcast.net, 978-500-9475. If you need your car driven to Florida, I'm your guy. Call me up. I'll make you a deal. We'll get you down there real quick. Kenny?
My name is Ken Gidge, and I got nothing to sell other than my own paintings. It's Christmas time, ladies and gentlemen. Gidge art, Gidge 3D.
It's Christmas
I know.
time.
We haven't had a Christmas party yet. I guess we'll have another. Hey, you want to have a Christmas party?
Sure.
We can cause a lot of
trouble. Why don't we do
trouble.
it on the street when we're doing our
No.
street?
We want wine. We want to be drunk.
I don't.
You know,
No, I don't do that.
All right.
You don't do that either.
No, I don't drink. My name is Ken Gidge. I'm from Nashua, New Hampshire. I am a state representative from Ward 6. I'm also an artist, which doesn't work. Art, politics is worse than religion and politics, believe me.
But wait a minute, this show is called The Art of Politics.
I know that.
And you're saying it doesn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't work. No, the show works. But I have a website called Gidge World, and that's Gidge World. You may go there, look at some of my artwork. I'm also on Facebook, so if you want to see my pretty face or hook on, that's fine with me. You can also email me at kgidge@aol.com. That's kgidge@aol.com. And by the way, if you like these shows or you dislike these shows, or you would like to come in and give you 5 minutes to sit down here and give us hell if you want to, or tell us how good we are, no one will tell us how good we are. But anyway, thank you, David.
Well, you're welcome. And again, if you come in to sit down, you're going to have your back to the camera.
That's right.
Take
Goodbye.
care now. We'll see you later.